Okay, keeping up with earnings, we also had Bajaj Electricals, which just reported its numbers. It's a 40% decline in its top line compared to the same quarter last year. Revenues from the EPC segment too have seen a degrowth of nearly 70% compared to the last year. Let's discuss the quarter gone by. We will be having I think we've got Mr. Anant, who is joining us on the show now, who's the CFO of the company. Hi, sir. Good afternoon, and thanks a lot for joining us. Optically, just looking at the headline numbers, I think it's a degrowth across all parameters. Tell us what went wrong in the December quarter.
I would say this is a reflection of the direction what we have taken, because we are given the guidance saying that we'll be focusing on the growth of consumer durable business. At the same time, we'll be having calibrated approach towards our EPC business, where we are not really aggressively bidding, and we are focusing on completing the projects which are on the hand, and at the same time focus on reducing the capital employed in the EPC. So if you see the, as you said, that the top line, there is a degrowth of 41%, 40.7%. And there is a drop in profitability from 60 crores PAT level to 9 crores. But if you see the segmental number, you will say that the consumer durable is growing well. It is growing at 12.7% for the quarter. Margins are expanded from 6.8% to 7.7% at EBIT level. And EPC, as we are not taking new orders and focusing on the current order which are there, the top line degrowth of 69% from 1401 crore to 423 crores, and there is a drop in EBIT margin from 79 crores to 14 crores. So this is the basically direction the company has already decided upon, and as I said, as far as consumer durable numbers are concerned, we are really happy. We are doing good over there. It was a good season sale for the water heaters in the third quarter, and some of the festival sales which has happened in the third quarter.
Sir, since you've mentioned the consumer segment, and before I move on and talk more on the earnings, I just want to touch upon the budget, where they've increased the custom duty from 10% to 20% on items like water heaters, table fans, ceiling fans. Were you importing any material, or were you importing these goods? Does this move impact a company like Bajaj Electricals?
For your information, we have major procurement from the domestic suppliers. Around 13 to 15% of our products we are importing from China. Otherwise, we have in-house manufacturing for fans and LED lighting fittings. Plus, we are sourcing from the vendors in India the major categories like water heater, mixers, coolers, ceiling fans. These are all manufactured in India. So for us, the impact will be on the 13 to 15% of sourcing of appliances and lighting. However, obviously the impact is across the industry, and the obviously call will be taken whether we should correct the sales price, or whether we should look for the growth and maintain the price. That call will be taken after evaluating the things.
You highlighted 13 to 15% of sourcing has been from China. Is there any issue currently due to outbreak of coronavirus then, right, as of now?
If you see, actually China's, because of their New Year holidays are going on, we already sourced whatever as per our plan before the holiday started. So now actual things will be clear when their holidays will get over, and then whether we'll be able to get the supplies from the vendor, that will be clear after the Chinese holidays got over.
So would this have any sort of impact in the quarter four?
Mainly quarter four, as we know, it's a summer products where the fans and coolers, and as I mentioned, the fans and coolers is procured domestically. All ceiling fans are manufactured in India. Coolers 100% manufactured in India. TPW fans we import, where the joint branding of Bajaj and Media. But at the same time, we have similar model developed in India. So I don't think there will be the non-availability would be the issue for the even TPW fans.
Okay, but you will look at it closely going ahead, whether if there is any sort of cost increase due to custom duty hike, whether you look to pass it on to your consumers. I'm just going to move on to the EPC segment. You said you've stopped taking orders here. When you start taking orders, and give us a sense on the execution as well of the current orders.
As everybody knows, investors knows that we have three segments in EPC. The segment where we are really stopped bidding is the last mile connectivity, which is we call it as a power distribution segment, where we take a lot of rural electrification orders, where we stop bidding. However, the other segment where transmission line tower, monopole business, substation business, and the lighting turnkey projects like high mast street light, where we are bidding. And there obviously that business is steady states and the margins are better, capital requirement is lower as compared to rural electrification. Looking at the current order book, we have 1475 crores of order book as on 1st of January, where the transmission line tower is around 725 crores, power distribution, which is just now I talked about the rural electrification projects, that is 594 crores, and illumination, which is basically turnkey lighting projects, is 156 crores.
Okay, so we leave it on that note. Appreciate you joining us and taking us through the highlights of the quarter. That's the management of Bajaj Electricals. It is the EPC segment which has been a drag for them, but overall they're pretty much happy with the consumer side of the business, and the stock has reacted negatively post the numbers. It's up 2%.
All right, the other one is Century Plyboard saw its profitability fall by